Hey everyone, Brian Fouts here.
And Jake Fouts.
And once again, we're here with Kevin Day. Appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
And we're in the security section of EVG, and we want to talk about our kids and your kids being entrepreneurs. And one of the things we always want to promote in our kids, and if we see them with that entrepreneurial spirit, we obviously want to promote that in them. But one of the things that we all often miss on is the asset protection side of that, and having them learn the basics of business and how to create it. And so it's something that you've talked about that really hit home for me, because I have my kids that are going to be getting to that age pretty soon where they're going to be interested in that stuff, and I want them to have that knowledge.
I would love to say that this was my idea, but I've had clients come to me and buy a little company for their children so that they learned how to use them and to think in terms of a company in corporate form is all part of natural behavior. So it's akin to giving a piggy bank to a kid so that they're saving money. So when they open a bank account, they realize that's what they should put their money in the bank rather than leave it around on the floor or spend it because it's around. And the very first time it happened was in the early 90s, where this woman bought a corporation. The daughter named it and brought the daughter to the seminar, and it was on basic corporate formation. And she chose the name and did that and the other, and she didn't have in hindsight, seeing more recent kid clients, it wasn't very sophisticated. It was lemonade stands and stuff, but it was still how do you use the corporate kit, how do you do ledger work, how do you do your annual minutes, and how do you do ledger work about whether you sold a 25-cent cup or a 10-cent cup. And this mom thought that was incredibly important, no matter whether they were pennies or dollars. And it was the first time I saw it. Well, it's happened, not every year, but like every other year, we'll have somebody buy a company kind of unnecessarily from a business point of view so that they learned, and it's just second nature. But now, I don't know about your kids, my kids, they have friends that are making, $1,500 a month because they play some video game on a professional team, or they make little Minecraft suits and get, $25 a week or whatever it is. And so this new generation, they're not getting it from their parents, they're getting it from peers that they can work doing some little hobby or game that they currently do. And we're having parents that are coming in saying, my kid's entrepreneurial, and I don't want them to know what a share looks like unless they go to an MBA class. And so they come and buy little corporate kits and have their companies. And
awesome.
For the right family, I don't think it's for everybody, but for the right family, and especially the right boy or girl that you see some entrepreneurial spirit. I've got another client just last year. I had a couple last year, but this gal, and she's still in junior high, and she makes lots of money on Etsy making earrings out of stuff, bicycle parts and just little doodads, and she puts them up in an artistic thing, and she's got this big following, and she sells a lot of money. And
That's amazing.
parents brought her in and said, we want to form a company, and I said, I get it. I do this actually more often than you think.
Yeah, I know when I was a kid, I don't know if I was in high school yet, I think I was mowing lawns to actually, no, I wasn't in high school, I think, or it was just about ready to, and I was saving money for either it was a car or it was actually for college, and I had made flyers and I was putting them in mailboxes and I was mowing lawns, and it was actually really good money, for back when I was doing it. But one of the things that I'm thinking back now with the knowledge I have now is that I wish I had been a little more encouraged on that entrepreneurial and business spirit, because if I had learned that how to set up a business when I was that young, it probably would have put me years and years ahead of where I'm at today, because I would have had that knowledge, I would have had that mindset of go create that business and be an entrepreneur, versus 20 years later getting that same knowledge. And So as parents, if you see that in your children, I'll always recommend encourage that spirit inside them, and obviously working with you can really help that knowledge.
Yeah,
moving it forward.
Setting up their expectations for themselves.
Yeah.
That things aren't, they're not unattainable, and see themselves as a business person, and working in that formality of a company anyway. Again, it's not going to be for everyone. Encourage the entrepreneurism, whether you're going to, it's appropriate to have a company or not. But then they're thinking bigger. They're thinking, you have a company kit, probably without you outlining and connecting the dots, they're thinking employees. They're not just thinking me pushing the ball and being entrepreneur. I've already had a company. What's next? I need 5 employees, and I need 15 employees.
Yeah.
And that expectation can drive success.
Yeah, it's amazing. So
I know that's really important for Brian and I, because we both have kids, and that's something that we're going to try and bring, I think, a little bit more into EVG, is some of those options and ideas that you can do for your kids. And this one here with Kevin is LLCs, and like you said, that might not be for everybody, but at least it gets you and your kids thinking, because the way I look at my kids, at the age they're at now, by introducing them to these concepts here at a very young age, you change the way they think. And I think you use the word maybe trajectory, but you change just when they're young. If you do that, the directions they can go by taking that little change about thinking about business and entrepreneurship can take them so far, versus going the other direction that could be, college is good too, but they can go such a different direction with some of the things that you're going to be able to learn here in EVG, and that's super important for me.
Yeah.
Great.
No, appreciate it. So if anyone who has kids or wants to pursue this, we'd recommend reaching out to Kevin. Use the contact form below, and appreciate it. Thanks. That was awesome information.
Absolutely. And actually, this is maybe a good segment. Those of you that have entrepreneurial children, and you think that something would help them, let us know, and we could put something together that might be some other children-focused modules, and it will help a bunch of other families. And so if you think of something, let us know.
Appreciate that. It's awesome.
Thanks.
All right. See you guys next video.